What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? Did it invite you to a meeting and then the meeting wasn't there?
No, I hit join and it said nah. And then I was like, oh. And I
Yeah,
was like,
no,
just about to text you to let you know, just in case you thought it was on my end.
no, it was me. It was me. Well, I was like, I should probably start recording before he gets here, so it's recording when he gets here in case Steven, like, in case you say anything or have anything that like right away. Sometimes we have like a fun thing. But instead of hitting record, Steven, I just closed the chat. I closed the whole meeting. I was like, what if we just didn't do this? I don't know what I was thinking. My brain.
Bling bling, no podcast.
No, Steven, the dumbest thing about it is I literally hovered over it and it was like the options were like end chat for everyone and leave chat. And I was like, I guess leave
Destroy Steven
chat.
entirely,
Yeah.
disintegrate.
So we already have issues. Let's get to the actual show. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony, and I'm
And
sick.
he is so sick, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I didn't even ask him if he was still sick. When he was talking, I'm like, oh my god, poor Anthony, he's still so sick. Like as soon as he was talking to me.
I
I'm
had
Stevie
to,
Wildcard, by the way, though.
dude. You know how I am. You guys, if you watch the show for a while, if you're joining for the first time, welcome to the show. Normally, we talk about our various issues and obstacles, nonsense that life throws away while working on comic books. This week, much like other weeks since we've been doing this for 6 years, Steven, we've been doing this for a long time, dude. It's pretty
So
like
long. It's amazing.
I'm thankful for it. I'm impressed by it. If you're new to the show, welcome. This might be your first ever Anthony Sick episode, but this week I was stricken down. I was Steven, I watched it. I watched my coworkers. I watched my coworkers fall like dominoes. And as they got to me, I was like, I got this. I'm taking
Mm.
vitamins. I'm gonna matrix this. I'm gonna dodge it like Neo. I'm perfectly like parallel to the floor. No bullets will touch me. And then I was sneezed upon by a greater god, Steven. I could not dodge the mucus. Oh my god, dude, it sucked. It sucks. I hate being sick. There's nothing worse for me. I just like, ugh. But despite that, Steven, I took 2 days off of work, Steven. All I've been doing is sitting miserably on the couch, moaning and making noises while I color.
That's awesome.
That's all I've been doing. So I'm just
It
coloring.
all works out. It all shakes in the end, right?
Oh, dude. Oh, it's been so bad. Like I've been okay. So you, so how have you been this week? Before I like ramble on about how miserable I've been.
I've been doing good. Thankfully had Friday off in celebration of the 4th of July.
Awesome.
So Friday gave me a lot of time to get a lot of because I mean
Yeah.
I think I've done the most pages in a stretch this last like 5 or 6 days. So and they were super detailed
Dude,
pages too.
so much
But
going on.
I there's so much going on, but I figured I needed to pour into those pages mostly
Yeah,
because those are the action pages of this issue.
that's
So
fair.
I really did, and I feel like I did dump it on great. But yeah, I'm literally on the last page of Bloodlust, which is fantastic. Which also means once we finalize it by Friday, we can get back to Deathless
Yeah, I can't
and
freaking wait.
wrap that sucker up too, dude.
Oh my
Like
God.
it's
I think that's I've been aside like sickness aside, I've been in a weird place where I feel kind of like unsettled lately. I'm just like I feel like there are things I need to be doing and I can't do it because I'm in this other place where I have obligations. Of course, my feet are held to a specific fire, but I'm like my fingertips want to be elsewhere, Like what am I doing? But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we've been working on our supernatural superhero culty comedy comic called Deathless. We're on issue 4. We're trying really hard to get it done. The Kickstarter was launched a couple months ago, and it was thankfully very successfully funded. And we have a few months to go before our deadline is up. And
which we will just if I know those listening are the contributors, it's going to be there before that. Don't worry about it. We really just have the finalization of colors and lettering, and then the adding in of the cameos. Bloodlust is like this. We always know it's coming because, like, we'll get the heads up, like, hey, we're gonna be doing one soon. So like I was really hoping that we could finalize Deathless before that time bomb came, but once that Bloodlust time bomb gets lobbed, we have no choice but to like pause everything and hyperfixate because the deadlines are so extreme, especially with two people that have full-time jobs. It's
Right.
just very
Um,
extreme deadlines.
it is. It's nice though, because so Steven and I are hired to create this comic book for a company, and it's a fantastic it's a fantastic, tantalizing tale of vampires and witches, and just the eternal struggle and battle between them. It's a lot of fun. We are on our third issue of that, and it's going pretty well. Um, I'm excited to get through it though, because as much fun and as enjoyable as that is, and honestly, it's like satisfying to know that we can do something in that amount of time, and
Mm-hmm.
also we can do it pretty well and get paid for it, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool to have that in our belts, and just to be like, oh, this is on my resume now. I have this ability. I just can't wait to finish Deathless. We are so close. It's a 5 issue series. We're almost done with issue 4, and then we get to finish this thing up and
We
move
get
on
to
to our
wrap it.
next big thing. And I'm very excited for that, because like and that's kind of like I wrote down like some stuff, because I feel like I'm in just like I'm in like a transitional, I need to do something with my hands phase.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because we're getting there, right?
I'm
The
looking
end is
forward.
coming.
Yes, and we are getting there, dude. And I can't freaking wait. It's been a weird week. Like, I mean, sickness is always so weird for me. I don't know how you are, but like when I
No, dude, I shut down. I shut
yeah,
down.
dude. So like
I'm the
what happened?
biggest baby. I'm the
I'm the
biggest
biggest baby
baby.
too. I know that's the stereotype of all guys, but like it's like I fight it, I fight it, I fight it, I fight it, I die. And
Mm-hmm.
then dude, and then what happens to me is like when I'm incapable of doing anything, I realize all of the things that I really want to be doing. Or I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just everything. It's not just the like, oh my God, this house needs to be clean. That's there too. But it's the like it's like the ADHD brain of like I have a billion things and I'm in the middle of all of them and near the end of none of them because I can't even take a step forward right now. And it's like, and it's in addition to that, life wise, like existentially as a human, what am I doing next? Like what's going on? I
Mm-hmm.
literally can't get off this couch. Holy crap. I like what am I doing? I'm like I'm old now. My body's starting to feel it. I should probably move my body. Oh, I can't because I'm sick. Why do these thoughts come to us when we literally can't do anything about it,
It's
Steve?
always 3 a.m. and when you're completely incapable of moving. Those are the times when you feel the most motivation to
Oh,
do 1,000 things that you need to do.
yeah, dude, it's bonkers. But I've been on the couch and I've been coloring and I've been doing my best. And I know you've been working like mad trying to get
Yeah,
this book done. We both been working really hard in this. I'm proud of both of us.
yeah,
And
it's
I know,
definitely, dude.
yeah, and I know we'll get it done. I'm right now. I think I'm almost done with page 7. Cause yeah, like 6 and 7 had so much going on, like so many things going on. So I was like, okay. And then
Yeah,
I know
I
page
can't
8
remember. Is seven when the
is
battle like kind of
yeah, it's
starts?
when it starts. Yeah, it's the 7's when the battle starts.
Yes,
So it's like it starts to widen up, and I'm like,
the
okay, here we go.
Shankalicious moment.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way,
So
I left onomatopoeias out. Feel free to when you're lettering to
add
do those. And
perfect,
my plan is basically to just finish page 12, and then we'll just see where you're at,
and we'll
and then
yeah,
you can prioritize doing letterings on the inks because you already
perfect.
know where everything is, and then I can switch to just full coloring, and that way you can like have plenty of time to letter too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that works. Until then, I mean, I know we only have like what a couple days or a day until that happens, but then yeah, I'll still color. I'm gonna color more tonight, and I'll probably finish the page I'm working on. Yeah, we'll see where we go. But I'm glad we're getting it done. We're working hard on this freaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, dude, I've been on the couch, just kind of like it sucks when like sometimes when I get sick, it's just like it like mirrors depression where it's like I don't feel like watching anything. I don't feel
Mm-hmm.
like listening to anything. I don't feel like nothing's appetizing to me. Everything's just like everything sucks right now, and I'm like nothing is good enough. Nothing like But I will say so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like I don't feel like watching anything. I'm gonna color as long as I can, and then when my tablet dies and I have to charge it, I'm gonna read. So I started reading like comics because I was like, it's been
Nice.
a while since I've read comics, and I was like, dude, I forget how much I like Etrigan from the DC universe, like the
I don't even
demon Etrigan.
yeah, I don't even know that character.
Even like I think it's probably overall he's probably overall my favorite DC character. Like there's like every time I've ever seen him in books, I'm always like I like this guy. And then I got like a Garth Ennis run of him a while back and I never got to read it. So I'm like trying to catch up with that. I've also like during my sickness went back and I watched some of the old like Batman animated series episodes that
Nice.
had him in it. So
Oh,
like
he was in some of the episodes. That's
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
So Etrigan is like okay. So I'll tell you my introduction to the character is probably Batman animated series, but I don't remember any of that. What I remember as my introduction is the Kevin Smith Green Arrow, the Quiver comics. Etrigan's in that, and I remember thinking like, oh, this character's pretty cool. So he's the character he's the yellow demon who wears like red. He rhymes everything he says.
Oh,
And
that's fun.
so what he is it's both a demon and a human and a man, Jason Blood, who share the body of Jason Blood. Um, but when he wants to change into Etrigan, he does this poem where he's like, "Gone, gone, the
Mm.
form of man, rise again," like Etrigan or whatever, you know. And he does this whole thing, and Etrigan pops up, and he always speaks in rhyme, and
Oh,
he's just
that's
like this
cool.
demon. But what's like cool, like one of the cool things about it is like he's an ancient character who was essentially like Merlin was the one who bound these people together like back in
Mm.
ancient arthurial England, you know. And he's been alive ever since, like just immortal and unsplit from this demon. And when they do ever split, he ages like Dorian Gray, like
Oh
woof,
my god.
yeah, like he starts to age,
Like
like
all
wither.
the centuries pile on top of him basically at
Exactly.
once.
Yeah. So I was just like, so I watched the Justice League Dark movie and he's in that and I was like, hell yeah. And I was like really excited. I don't know, it was just so it was cool. That was like my favorite part about being sick if if I get to have one is like I was like, "Oh, I like really like this character." And I like and it reminded me a lot of Deathless. Or I was like, "Oh my God, it's so funny." Like it's not the same, but like there are a lot of tonal things there, or like like thematic things there. Where I'm like, oh
Hmm.
shit, like I'm kind of glad I kind of like am falling in love with Etrigan like now, and I'm like, oh, now
It
I'm
would because it might have impacted
impact,
Deathless
yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit.
which is fine. You know, we're all inspired by things, but like I always hate the like accusations, where it's like, this is just this wearing a different hat or whatever, which is
Hmm.
like sometimes that's true and that's should be fine, like it's like everything has some sort of origin, whether or not it's like
Absolutely.
a rep, it's like a remix of various things.
It's so weird how fine that line truly is with stolen versus this is amazing recreation of or an
Yeah,
homage to this. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but
Like
yeah,
people are going to determine that on a person to person basis, and there's really not much you can do about it, but just
yeah,
take it.
it's true, and it's it's interesting, like the idea of like homage, versus what's the word I'm looking for? Pastiche, where it's like a gathering of things, versus like parodying things, versus like
Hmm.
it's just there's so many ways to be inspired by something and make it your own and still be original in a way, and still
Ninja
portray
Turtles are a
yourself.
great example.
Oh,
Ninja
absolutely.
Turtles being like a direct ripoff of Frank Miller's. Is it Frank Miller's Daredevil? I
Yeah,
believe.
it's and
I think so.
Ronin.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Ronan. I mean, like, there's so much like paying like great respects to the thing that they were so passionate about. I imagine them reading those comics and being so excited, and then like completely implementing them. But Ninja Turtles are entirely their own thing now. Like, it's not even
Yeah,
it's its own conglomerate. Like
yeah,
it's a whole
100%.
nother.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's one of those like like they're like, oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree unless it's on a hill and it rolls into toxic goo,
I
and
was
then
gonna
that
say
toxic
it.
goo makes that apple into a crazy mutant that you have to battle with ninja swords. Like it's yeah, it's interesting that you can be inspired by this whole like just a crazy array of this endless supply of pop culture that we have at our disposal now. We
Hmm.
can, of course, we're inspired by all of it. So yeah, it's weird, but it's really cool to realize that I'm sure some of my inspiration like subconsciously came from things like that without realizing,
Mhm.
like writing death lists. I don't know. It's fun to think about though. Um, but dude, I've been in such like a gross place because of the sickness, like just like mentally and physically. I'm just like I hate it. And then, you know, you ever feel like, when you're down, you're like, oh, I just need some light, like I need something to help, So like, thankfully, I was able to find like eventually, like, oh, I'm getting into like these DC comics, and like I'm finding some movies and stuff to like. But dude, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just like scroll social media for a second, and find something to laugh at, and maybe write something funny or whatever. Everything on social media for me has made me feel like an old man shaking my fist at a cloud lately again. Where I don't, Steven, and I'm gonna whisper this so they don't hear me. I don't I just don't think it's for me. I don't think it was ever for me. I try really hard because I'm like, hey, I want to sell my books and I want to find communities so that like hopefully we'll support one another, and it'll be great. But like, oh my God, Steven, like it's crazy.
The internet is Britaing it like entirely.
It
The entire
really,
internet is
dude.
Britaing it. Like it's just they're just
I
it's crazy, dude.
100% agree, dude. Like it feels like okay, when you try to make friends online, right? This is literally how I feel. I feel like you're trying to play hopscotch or go bowling and it's a minefield, right?
Hmm.
Like that's like your friends are like, "Hey, you want to play? We're hopscotching." Where I'm like, "Yeah, but that's also a minefield." And they're like, "Okay, well, how about what if we bowl?" I'm like, "Yeah, but also those mines are out there. There's a
They're
mine
everywhere.
they're everywhere. And even when you do your best to like literally minesweep map them out and you're like, I'm going to avoid those and put flags where they are so I know to stay away, they come to you ceaselessly. Like it's like it's and aggressively. It's like bonkers, dude. Okay, so let me give you like my recent touch with this, which is so stupid. I was sick and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I just feel like sitting on the couch and like kind of like being nostalgic for a second." So I grabbed my box of movie tickets. I have an old box of
Uh-huh.
movie tickets from like
We used to go see a lot of movies. I mean, just
yes.
us in the group. But I know you've like you
Oh yeah.
any movie that you've ever wanted to see, you definitely saw in theaters.
Yeah, dude. And like, but like most of the movies that I have tickets for, I probably went with you. And like a lot of
Hmm.
them were like from when your sisters worked at the movie theaters.
Hmm.
Like it's just like I had a whole era of time where I was like, oh, I'm getting all these tickets. I have like Avengers and Hot Fuzz. I have like No Country for Old Men. I have so many movie tickets. I have Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. I have The Dark Knight. I have all these tickets. So I'm just like this is cool to just have these and and I'm remembering all these moments. I remember seeing Fantastic Four and walking in the theater a little too early and seeing Johnny Storm do the flame on and turning around immediately and going, "Oh my God, I spoiled that." Although I know it's gonna happen. Like obviously he's gonna say flame on when but I remember, like, so I was like having all these memories, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." So I was like, "I'm gonna take pictures of this and share it with the internet, and be like, look at these cool things I found."
No
Steven,
one could possibly get angry about this.
Steven. So I wrote, okay, so I took a picture of these things, and it was like I forget which ones. It was like Slither, Avengers, Hot Fuzz, No Country for Old Men, and like one other one I think. And I took pictures of them, and I was like, anyone remember these movies? Like just being like silly, like remember this, dude? All of the responses on Threads
Oh God.
were like, dude, I've been told, like Lee, if Lee Newman's watching right now, Lee told me, he's like, it's a good place. It's a kind place. People are cool there. Steven, I love Lee, but that has not been my experience with Threads. Every time I go on there, I'm just like, hey guys, how's life? And they're like, get out of here or die. And I'm just like, okay.
Anytime I don't use Threads, but anytime I'm on something and I click a Threads link to see something, I created an
Right.
account so I could see it. Dude, it's always just 100% pretentious douchebags being pretentious douchebags about everything they could possibly be
Yeah.
pretentious douchebags about. I've
Oh my
never seen a positive fucking
goodness.
post on Threads.
Dude, and you know how I am. I was like, okay, well, I'll try Threads. People tell me it's good, and I'll try it. I'll, whatever. So, and listen. Benefit of the doubt. Everything works with bubbles. You have to pop the ones that don't work for you, and you stick in the one that does. In these social media situations. But I don't have time for that anymore. Like I don't have the energy, for it, especially when I'm sick. So I post this thing, and people are like, oh no, I've never heard of this Oscar-winning movie. Yeah, no one's ever heard of these are very niche movies. Never heard like all of them. Every single comment. I was like, that wasn't really the intention of this post, and I think that you could see that if you weren't terrible. Like
Yeah.
if you weren't internally an awful human person, you wouldn't assume that based on this post. Like, what do you mean? You know, so I was just like, I'm done with this app. Like, I'm not using this anymore. But regardless, dude, I feel like generally speaking, okay, Steven, imagine for a second, life is like an RPG, right? Like we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, but it is Houses and Humans, you know? If I'm playing my game, do I really want to be leveling up my social media when that's what it is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's like not to I'm not saying that it's not worth it for some people. There are rewards you can find. There are treasures to be found in that particular dungeon, but that dungeon's juice doesn't feel worth the squeeze most of the time, you know? Like I feel like I spend so much time looking for like trying to avoid the traps that and I rarely find the treasure and the treasure I have found is my dang wife, which I feel like I nailed it. Like I won that dungeon. Like I
Yeah, you went in, you found it, you tried to switch the weights, it didn't work out, so now the whole internet is a giant boulder coming for you as you run out with the treasure.
that
That's
yeah,
literally what. That's just
that's
the truth.
exactly how it feels. And so and I know, Steven, I know when we get to the point of like our next Kickstarter, I'm gonna be like, crap, I need it. Ah, but I don't know. Okay, so like I guess what do you think? Okay, because we need a way to get attention to our books, obviously, right? I mean, our YouTube will get us a certain amount. I feel like if we like maybe if I focused my energy instead of ever on social media, if I focused it on like skits or like making little videos and that stuff and posting it on YouTube, we'd be more likely to find people through this means
And not
than
have to even tread the waters of
yeah, and that way
the
I could I
horrible
mean
canals
it,
of the internet.
yeah, dude, and like maybe occasionally I'll post, but like I'm okay with being like kind of like solipsistic. Like I'm okay with like living in my own little personal bubble of this is my post. If you interact with it, I'll be your friend, but otherwise I'm not scrolling because like
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's and
Dude,
like
not just before we get too far from it, I just wanted to say because like how you like going on threads and stuff,
yeah.
dude. The thing that I've been noticing, and I know this has
Yeah,
been a thing, but when it comes to the internet, is like I don't know if you saw recently about the woman who unfortunately lost her life to an alligator
I
in the
did.
state of Florida.
I did.
That's horrible. Dude, what is the shit about the fucking internet where if someone dies, famous or not,
Yeah.
local or whatever, everyone in the comments is just doing their best job to be a stand-up comedian for some
Yep.
reason over this person's death. I don't understand it.
I don't get it. Eh,
And like, dude, like I am a born and raised Floridian.
mm,
And I cannot tell you how many dumbass Floridians are on that post saying like you shouldn't go in the water where the gators are, and it's like you motherfucker, like it's so stupid. Like people know that. People know that in Florida. Like
yeah.
people go swimming in Florida every day. Floridians go swimming in Florida every day in water
Yeah.
that's risky. The truth about Florida is all of the water you see is risky. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Like we don't need these people. But yeah, dude, it's like anytime I see some sort of death announcement or some sort of like local post or national post or whatever, it's always just fucking comedians in there as if that wasn't a real person who lost their life and whose family is mourning and whose friends are like upset. Like
Yeah.
it's wild to me, dude. It's so
Yeah.
wild.
It really is. I've also noticed about that post in particular, like they keep sharing all these pictures. They're like, "Oh, local girl died," and it's just her in a bikini over and over.
Yeah,
It's like,
which is strange too, the way
I
they're
was like,
like
this is all very weird. Like, I don't know. I don't like anything about that. And I don't. I just this whole. I know. I get it, Steven. We're older, but like, this this
we're
new
rebooting grumpy old men over here,
we
ladies and
are
gentlemen.
rebooting Grumpy Old Men. I'm trying not to, but it's so true. Steven, I just don't understand when the currency of the time has to be attention and like, but for this for at any cost, like with no bottom, when you're just like, oh
Hmm.
no, I just want attention. I'll do anything. I'll literally say anything for attention. Like that's like, for instance, we have a show where like we hope people watch this. We're trying to make comic books. We're hoping to make a movie. We're going to be making more music. We do all kinds of stuff, right? We want people to show up for us for the podcast and also for our books and also for blah blah blah. But we're not going to just have conversations like hoping to get attention so you give us attention like that
Mm-mm.
is insane. Like we are hoping we're doing this, hopefully the attention amounts to us perpetuating a career in creating stories and storytelling. That's what all we want. And so far we're doing great. We're starting to make more money doing it. We're doing this stuff. Our Kickstarters are successful. We now have an ongoing comic book creating job. But like it's partially because of the attention, but we're not doing anything specifically to seek just attention for the sake of attention,
Yeah, no,
like.
it's
But I feel like, and also, Steven, I mean, just to for anyone out there who might be like, you have a podcast and you're out there, we're also not talking about anything controversial or anything weird. Like we don't talk about politics here. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not gonna find it. If you're looking for like weird social commentary or like pitchforks and torches, we'll have pitchforks and torches for things like this. We're like, what is happening? What is it? What are we doing as a whole? But we don't get into all that stuff. So it's a stressful situation to navigate all of the world right now when everyone is willing to just say any absolute trash for attention and just for attention. Like they don't care what the consequence is. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care that there's a person on the other side of
they
that.
don't.
They just want to see that their impressions go up so that their dopamine maybe spikes a little. I don't understand what people get from it. I know it's been an ongoing issue with the internet since the inception of the internet. Since it was initially born. But I don't know, dude. I'm with you though. I think that whole thing was really just kind of gross.
Yeah.
And I'm not above like okay, listen, in the privacy of your own house or in your own home, like if between friends, if you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this person's blah blah blah, and you have opinions, of course, say 'em. Say all the things. My wife and I have conversations all the time about all kinds of stuff that is crazy. We talk about nonsense all the time. Sorry, we have a running joke about like Twitter Spaces when we're like we say something about like because if we're talking about this, we're like, oh, we wouldn't say I'm not going to talk about this woman who died, in a way that would ever hurt her. If like
Hmm.
we're not going to do that in public. But if I'm in my kitchen with my wife and she's like, oh my God, did you hear about this? We'll talk about it and we'll say something, of course that we wouldn't say because we're decent human people, like
Yeah,
in
because we're
public
not
because
gonna.
you don't want to hurt
You're
like
not gonna give tongue in cheek like analytics. I guess you're not gonna just like drop that
well
on for no reason.
everyone wants to be the Waldorf. Everyone wants to be like the old Muppets, like making their little jabs at literally everything. And I understand like everything's ridiculous in the world right now, but some things should remain somewhat sacred in certain spaces, right? Now, if you're a stand-up comedian, go make fun of the girl who got eaten by an alligator. Go ahead. You're on
Hmm.
stage. People expect you to be having commentary and saying silly things. If a post is literally about mourning the loss of someone and you're trying to be funny, you're wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're
It's
so
there's
wrong.
context is the point. The point is it should never be everything. So things can't be joked about. Blah blah blah. But like at least read a room. What happened to
Yeah.
reading a room? Everyone's so illiterate. Read a room. Anyway, yeah, dude. But as far as reading a room is concerned, I just often feel these days that like there aren't any rooms that I want to be in. Like I'm like a DN, I'm DNFing. I'm do not finishing the internet for the most part. For I need a break from it. For sure. So I don't know. I don't know what to use my like. What do you think? How else can we get eyes, Steven? Do we do our covers? Maybe we do more music. Maybe we do.
Yeah, and I mean we have so many covers already kind of recorded anyway. We just need
Mhm.
to put content to them. I feel like because like
Yeah.
my always fear is like just throwing up like a blank
Oh
screen.
yeah,
And we could put something fun to these covers,
for sure.
and make them that much better.
Music videos are an option. We can make like silly sketches. That's an option.
Hmm.
And of course, you know what else we could just start doing more of is making shorts of our process, Like that's something that I know people want to see that we both neglect completely. Partially because like the work feels boring,
Hmm.
Like I mean, especially like flatting feels boring, So it's like, what do I do? I screen capture? Do I record myself? Like I can record myself like brainstorming or I can explain processes. Like I do want to make I want to make a video because a couple of people have asked me now about DMing, like dungeon mastering. A couple of people have asked me like how I created the murder mystery because and I was like, "Oh, I've like a I could definitely explain that process to people in a way that makes
That
sense."
ended up being really fun, by the way. We did good jobs.
Yeah,
We
you
got
guys
through a
did.
lot of
Dude,
campaign.
you guys did great. I will say so last time last session in our Dungeons and Dragons, I created this whole murder mystery and like yeah, the party literally they went through every single suspect pretty much, everyone in the house and they interrogated them pretty thoroughly. And came to the right conclusions over time. Like, and it was pretty good. It was you guys found all of the evidence that there was to find. I like there were only a couple of times where I had to like have an NPC sort of like help find something, but
Yeah,
like
like nudge it along.
yeah, but that was just little nudges. I did realize though, Steven, none of you guys asked any of the suspects who they thought killed the guy.
True that. To like kind of like
Yeah,
push
yeah,
the
just
circle
to
around.
just and I will say that was one aspect of the mystery. I was like, I don't really know who would be like I would have been able to improvise it based on their characters, but I didn't take time to write down like, oh, well, he thinks he did it and he thinks she did it. But I was like, because I was thinking that when we got there, I was like, oh man, if they ask this, what do I do? And then you just never did. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna stick to my script
I'm
then.
free of that
We don't
problem.
don't have to be creative in the moment at all. Like no freestyling, no. But anyway, a couple of people asked me that, so maybe I can do like Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Maybe we can do like a recap thing on our channel just to show like, hey, this
Yeah,
is like
start
a
recapping the campaign. We can even get the others involved in that
yeah.
too.
I
If
mean,
it,
just
you know, like
because like yeah, I will.
it'd be
I feel
cool.
like a lot of like we have to. Maybe we should just start treating our this YouTube channel like a YouTube channel. Where like we're allowed to have different types of content on here, like
Hmm.
different types of things. And like if you want to come on here and make like shorts about like Pokemon Go, if like
Oh,
like
true
what
though. Yeah.
like but like I think we should just start opening it up a little bit to where and like because for a while I was thinking well maybe we're going to like put people off by like giving them too much stuff and they're oversaturating it and they're going to stop paying attention to our channel. But I think if we like compartmentalize enough, if you're like
Hmm.
if we keep the titles as they should be and then we'll create like micro channels in the channel,
Hmm.
I think we'll be good. So like maybe we'll do more process stuff. Maybe we'll do like music writing stuff, Pokemon Go stuff. Just like things because honestly, I feel like I'm wasting time trying to change all of social media into something that it never will be. Like I get it. Like people want
It
to be
is
able to,
unfortunate that the town center it's not what it was. Like even in the
yeah,
pandemic, it was like such a cool, such a
it,
weird, unique time where there was just. But you know what it probably was, and I'm not trying to talk shit.
yeah,
The pandemic was probably an awesome, unique time because everyone was on social media, and now we're
yeah.
right back to the
Only the
hardcore social media users that are just a bunch
that's
of bitter, you know,
that's a good point. Yeah.
angry people. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
I think it's that, and also that combined with the fact that like Elon Musk took over Twitter, and like
that too, and like
there was an
opened up
yeah
unfortunate.
there was
Yeah.
a shift there, there was a temperament shift when that happened. Like overall, like people there was this whole rift, and then people went crazy, and people always do. It's very anytime anything's even remotely polarizing, people will be polarized and
Hmm.
will go to their
And in retrospect, actually, I would say, honestly, our peak Twitter was like 2018, 2019. So it wasn't even quite the pandemic. So maybe I'm like falsifying the past and be like, oh, it was so beautiful then.
yeah
But no, like, I don't know. I just, it was crazy, like, how, like, when I first joined Twitter, how friendly and
yeah
embracing the writing and art communities were. And, like, everything was so, like,
yeah.
everyone was so ambitious and everyone was just all like diving for their goals and
Well,
it's yeah just
Well,
something's
I,
shifted.
yeah, and it's like the temperament thing. It's kind of like I used to, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist anywhere. I know there are still people out there. There are still little lifeboats everywhere in the sea of social media. But the overwhelming, like, Bowser airship of it all is the negativity. It is the, like, hey, if you do this, we don't like this. Like, it's the, like, I'm gonna make my whole identity hating AI. I'm gonna make my whole identity hating Trump. I'm gonna make my whole identity hating. And I get it. There are some things that are very important to you, and all this. But it used to be, here's a writing community. We're gonna talk about our projects and where we are, and oh my gosh, the things that I face while I'm doing that, and we can all relate to those things. But then it becomes, if you don't like prologues, you're not a writer. If you like prologues, you're not. And like, and now we're all trying to define what it means to be a person again. And if you're not me, then you're not allowed to be you. Essentially, is that's kind of like the perspective a lot of people seem to have on social media, and it's just like it's clearly not for us. So, and at the time, it felt more like, rather than, hey, you're not me, I don't like you, it was, hey, what parts of me do I see
What
reflected in
parts
you?
do we
What
share,
parts
and
do
then
we
we can kind of
share? Like,
sort
what
out
do
the ones
we?
we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. And it was like, hey, how can we harmonize in some way? But now it's like, let me look through your organs and see where we disconnect. Be like, all right, I guess this is crazy. Um, but anyway, I do like the idea of just, why not, like, throwing caution to the wind. We've been doing this for 6 years now. Like, it won't hurt us. And like, I honestly, our channel has been doing naturally without any ads or anything fine the last few weeks. Like, we're
Yeah.
doing fine. Like, I've been posting it more on social media, but like, we're doing fine. And if you're watching right now, you made it this far in this episode, and this is your first episode, welcome. Thank you so much. Please hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think, and what you'd like to see and what you're interested in. If you'd like, what? If you're watching this right now and you get this far and you haven't read our book Deathless, comment something below, and I will send you a PDF of the first issue for free, so you can
Ooh,
see
look
the
at
work.
that.
Yeah, there you go. You go ahead. You comment below. You say like hashtag Deathless or something, and I will send you a PDF. I'll like comment if you want. You can leave your email below as well, and I'll just email it to you and just send it off. But otherwise, Steven, all right, we're gonna run along here. What are you gonna work on this week? At the end of every
I
show, we
am
talk about it.
I am wrapping up Bloodlust and jumping back into Deathless. But yeah, we have final page 12, and then just a bunch of coloring, and then off to the printers, and then and then hopefully a nice paycheck at
Heck
some
yeah.
point in the next
Dude,
few
oh,
weeks. That's gonna be exciting.
yeah, I can't freaking wait. I am so excited to be done with Bloodlust and jump onto to Deathless again and get that going, because, dude, I'm really excited to just get this book out to people, because this is my favorite issue so far of Deathless, and it's
It's
really
finally like the
yeah.
culmination of things happening. Is
Yeah,
all
where it's the most exciting segment so far in the book. So I'm just like, heck yeah, I can't wait. So I really hope everyone's excited for it. We're really excited to get it out to you, and I'm sorry about the wait. Obviously, we knew it was gonna take a while. That's why we gave ourselves, several months. But I'm gonna work really hard to get Bloodlust done. I know Steven's gonna work really hard to get Bloodlust done, and we're gonna get right back into Deathless for everyone.
absolutely.
Um, but thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for participating in any amount of positivity and supporting anyone who does anything cool in the world, because it does help make things a little bit better. Thank you for being a part of this. If you know anyone who might be interested in watching our show or reading our books or reading anything, really, please. People need to read, especially rooms. But tell them about our show. Share our show with the world. Make sure they subscribe and like and comment for the algorithm. Tell them that they can comment below and get a free PDF of a comic book this time. So
Yes, get them on this one so they can get those issues and then love us.
yes. But until next time, I'm Anthony,
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
and this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
Do the boom for the episode. Do you know what you're gonna do?
No.
I usually do like a theme song, but only booms, or like a phrase that's booms, or you can just do a clever boom, like a unique way to boom.
Boom!
I love it. One second, what is this sound? Is it in the microphone? Hold on.
What are you hearing?
I can't tell if it's in my house or just like something that's like feedback looping through my mic. It's like not a constant sound. It's like this like swailing sound like every like 30 seconds or so. So hold on. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. To me, it sounds like one of my kids is dragging a chair, but it's been too inconsistent and going on for too long for it to be that.
Is it still going?
Oh, is it thunder? Maybe that's what it is.
Is this thunder? You're like, what is this sound? What could it possibly be?
Well, because I think what's happening is it's the way the mic is picking it up in the distance, and I'm like, it literally sounds like one of my kids dragging one of our freaking dining room chairs, like to get cookies or something. And I'm like, what is going on? It's literally thunder.
It's literally thunder.
I'm in Florida, jackass.
Yeah,